Something is happening that most people are not paying attention to after more than 50 years. NASA is quietly preparing to return to the moon, but this time, it doesn't feel like before. Because the real question is not just what they are doing, it is why now, for decades. Space missions stayed close to Earth. We saw satellites, space stations, and missions in low orbit. But deep space, the kind of exploration that once took humans to the moon, it completely stopped. And now suddenly, everything is restarting. A new program is being built. New rockets, new spacecraft, new missions, all pointing toward one thing, the moon. But this is where it becomes strange. Because NASA is not just going back to the moon to explore it again. They are preparing for something bigger, something long-term. Something that could change where humanity goes next, and the mission at the center of all of this is Artemis. For a long time, space exploration felt like something from the past. A story already finished. The moon had been reached, and then left behind. But now, something is shifting again, because NASA is not just returning to space for short missions anymore. They are preparing for something deeper, something more permanent. A system of missions that will slowly push humanity farther than ever before. And it all starts with Artemis. But what makes this different from everything before? Why build a new program after so many decades of silence? And more importantly, what is waiting for us that makes going back so necessary? Because when a space agency like NASA spends years building rockets, spacecraft, and entire mission systems, it is never just for a single journey. There is always a bigger reason behind it, something most people are not seeing yet. And that is where the real story of Artemis begins. This is where the real purpose of Artemis starts to become clearer. To understand why Artemis matters, you have to understand what is being built behind the scenes. This is not just a rocket launch. It is a completely new system designed to send humans farther than they have gone in generations. Every part of it is being redesigned, improved, and tested for deep space conditions. Because going to the moon is no longer the final achievement. It is now a training ground. A place where technology and humans are pushed to their limits before going even further. And that is the key difference. In the past, space missions were about reaching a destination. But now, the focus is different. It is about learning how to operate far from Earth for long periods of time, how to survive, how to adapt, how to continue moving forward when Earth is no longer close. And this changes everything, because once you solve the problem of staying on the moon, you are already halfway to solving the problem of reaching Mars. And that is why Artemis is not just another mission, it is a foundation. A starting point for something much bigger than the moon itself. It is not just about sending astronauts back to the moon, and it is not just about repeating history. It is about building something that has never existed before in human history. A system that can take us beyond Earth and keep us going further step by step. Because deep space is not easy. Every mission becomes more difficult the farther you go. More distance, more risk, more unknowns, and NASA knows this. That is why Artemis is not one single mission. It is a series of carefully planned steps. Each one testing something new, each one preparing for something bigger. But here is what makes it even more interesting. The moon is not the final destination. It is only the beginning, a place to learn, a place to test survival, a place to prepare for what comes next. And that is why everything about Artemis feels different this time. Because for the first time in decades, humanity is not just going to space to explore it. We are going to learn how to stay there. But there is something even more important happening behind Artemis that most people don't realize. This mission is not only about technology. It is about testing human limits in a way we have not done since the Apollo era. Because space is not just a place to visit. It is a completely different environment where everything behaves differently. There is no air, no sound, no natural protection. And every small mistake becomes much bigger when you are far from Earth. That is why Artemis is designed to push both machines and humans to their absolute limit, to see what works and what doesn't before we go further. Because future missions will not be short trips anymore. They will take longer. They will go farther, and they will depend on systems that must never fail. This is why every test, every step, and every mission in Artemis matters so much. It is not about reaching the moon. It is about proving that we can go beyond it, safely and repeatedly. And once that is proven, everything changes. And this is why Artemis is more important than it first appears. Because it is not just a mission happening in isolation. It is part of a long-term plan that could shape the future of humanity in space. Each step is carefully designed to move beyond what we already know, to slowly push the boundaries of where humans can go and how long we can stay there. And once this system is fully tested and proven, it opens the door to something much bigger. Not just more missions to the moon, but missions that go beyond it, deeper into space. Farther than we have ever traveled before. This is how major changes in history begin. Not all at once, but step by step, quietly at first, until suddenly, everything is different. And Artemis is one of those steps, a step that could decide where humanity goes next. If you want to uncover these hidden space stories, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because what we're about to explore next will change how you see the universe. See you in the next one.